So thank you very much for taking the time today to find out a little bit more about Composites UK. I know the majority of you are probably members, but I think there might be a couple of non-members on the call as well. So I'll go through as much information as we can. So we're the trade association for the UK composites industry. We started off in 1989 as the Composite Processing Association, and the name changed in the mid noughties to better reflect the fact that we represent the whole supply chain rather than just a small proportion of the industry. We're working together to support the fibre reinforced composite supply chain. So that's any fibre, any resin. Um, and really, we're here to promote and develop good practice. We help to bring companies together, creating partnerships, and more importantly, act as a unified voice for the industry. The majority of our industry is made up of relatively small companies. So by coming together as a unified voice, we have a much larger say in what's going on. We're funded through membership, events, and exhibition activities. We don't have any external funding sources. And we're governed by a board of directors who are elected from within the membership by the members at the AGM each year. I've just put on here, because I wanted to make sure I flag it, that we are a member of the European Composites Industry Association, or EuCIA. We joined when the UK chose to leave the EU. The thinking behind that was that it enabled us to retain those strong relationships with our European counterparts going forward. And it has proved to be extremely beneficial, particularly around things to do with sustainability standards, those sorts of activities. Our mission is to provide each of our members with the opportunity to stay informed, to expand your networks, collaborate, and to promote your business globally so that we can help you to capitalize on market growth and also help the industry move towards net zero targets. So we do this through our strategic priorities. This is our second 5-year strategy that we're now a year and a half into. The first 5-year strategy, most of you will have seen a similar sort of diagram, was based around the 5 pillars with membership as the foundation. So everything we do is to support our members and sustainability as the roof. I'm going to take you through a few slides now that just show you some of the things that we've been doing in each of the areas and some of the things that we have planned. So in terms of policy, we've got a small policy working group which will be expanding its membership towards it, as we move through the year, probably into Q3. So if you're interested in being involved in that, do look out for invitations to join that group. We have what has become really an annual parliamentary reception. I think we've now delivered 3 very successful events at the House of Commons in London. The last one, we had over 100 attendees, and there's sponsorship opportunities for member companies to get their brand out there in front of other composites companies, but also in front of MPs and ministers who attend and speak at the event itself. We're also working towards developing an all-party parliamentary group around composites. This is being driven by Steve Barber, who chairs the policy working group, and will be fronted by Baggy Shankar MP. In terms of supply chain, we've got 2 subgroups. I'll come on to the sustainability one in a bit because I know some of you are members of that. We've got 2 other subgroups, one focused on construction and infrastructure, and one focused on material suppliers. You'll have seen various bulletins put out, particularly from the material suppliers subgroup, statements around the materials market over the last few years now, because it's been quite a volatile environment. In terms of workforce development, we've got a very active workforce development group, which is chaired by Peter Quigley. We also have some task group that work within that group. So we have one that's focused on apprenticeships, and that's chaired by Andy Sutton. And then we have one that's focused around EDI, so equity, diversity and inclusion. And that's very active at the moment. And through that group this year, we're looking at launching a mentoring scheme for our members. So it'll be a pilot scheme initially, quite small. But again, if it's something that might be of interest to you, look out for communications coming out around that. We're also focused on STEM engagement. So again, later this year, we'll be launching a Young Ambassadors program where we'll be supporting younger or early careers people in our industry to equip them with the training and information to go out into their local schools, colleges, to talk to the next generation of composites workforce that was coming up through. So again, if you're interested in potentially being involved in that, keep an eye out for communications. And we do a lot of work around standards. So we have a health and safety standards group. We've inputted into various consultations on standards. I've got two here that we had specific task groups formed to look at. So BS 476, which was all around fire standards for construction sector, and one EN 124, which was around manhole and access covers, and that was a European standard that was being revised. And we needed to have input into these to make sure that composites can continue to be used in a variety of different applications where they are already being used and are not compromised by revisions in standards specifications. In terms of technology, we don't develop our own technology. That's not what we're here for. We're not a catapult centre, but we will take part in projects or lead projects where there's a benefit to the wider composites community. So, for example, we project managed the Progress project, which focused on GRP recycling. It was the first of the GRP recycling projects to get forward and led to a number of others being successfully funded as well. We are currently running a short feasibility study, which is funded through UKRI, and that's looking at developing the business case for a UK recycling supply chain. So there'll be a kick-off workshop in later this month, actually, July. And again, keep an eye out for communications about how you might be able to get involved in that. We're also involved in a proposal at the moment, which is looking at developing tooling for composites. We should find out later this year whether that's been successful or not. In terms of events and exhibitions, this is a core pillar for any trade association. We run a number of our own events, which you'll have seen on the website. These are often face-to-face events, but we also run a series of different webinars as well. We support 3 key exhibitions. JEC in Paris, so JEC World. This year we had 24 members on our pavilion, and we are taking a slightly larger space in 2027 so that we can expand because we were oversubscribed. So again, if you're interested in finding out more about that, then I can put you in touch with Diane Alexander, who heads up our exhibitions. We will be at Farnborough International Air Show next week. This year, again, for the second time, we're sharing a pavilion with the Northwest Aerospace Alliance, and we have 8 of our members that will be exhibiting with us. That's an event that takes place every 2 years, so we will be looking at doing it again in 2028. So again, if you'd like information about that, get in touch with Diane. And again, our big UK event is the Advanced Engineering Show, where we take a large pavilion area for member companies to come and join us. We're based on the show floor plan opposite the networking area for the composite sector and near the forum area. So we're right at the centre of the hub of activity for composites. It's a great opportunity to showcase what you're doing to the wider composites community, but also to the huge number of customers that visit the show each year. We're really excited this year because EasyFairs, who manage the show, have added the Metals Expo to the portfolio, and that will be running alongside Advanced Engineering. So there'll be a whole new wave of customers looking for material solutions that will be walking around the composites part of the Advanced Engineering show. So it's a really good opportunity this year. In terms of sustainability, we have a large sustainability subgroup which has over 60 members. I think it's around about 64, 65 at the moment. It's chaired by Stephen Brown from Scott Barder. We're also a member of the UCEA Sustainability Working Group and have been active in that, and we're active in the setting up of the European Composite Circularity Alliance, or ECHA, which some of you may already be signed up to. That's well, sorry, I got to the end of the temple diagram, but you can see we've got an awful lot of activities going on. If there's things that you want to find out more about, would like to get more involved with, please just get in touch, because we're here to serve you. Basically, we're here. It's your association. In terms of membership, pre-pandemic, the membership numbers grew rapidly and have plateaued since. We appreciate it's a very tough economic climate out there at the moment for pretty much every single business. So we understand that times are difficult. So again, if we can support you in any way through that, then please just talk to us. The pie chart, though, really shows that we represent the whole supply chain. Not surprisingly, the vast majority of our members are manufacturers, material suppliers, and service providers. But you can see on there we do have representation across the whole supply chain within the composites industry. So why does membership matter? Well, companies tend to join for a number of reasons. The 5 top ones that are highlighted on their applications form are networking, access to resources, discounts, and industry insight for the promotional activities that we do, to have a voice, we talked about earlier, about coming together as a large community, and also for community and support. So building those business connections, getting to know who your new customers might be, who potential members of your supply chain might be, but also your competitors, talking to each other, discussing some of the common issues that the industry has, and seeing how we as Composites UK can help you overcome some of those. So we save you money. We've got member-only rates at all of our events. We've also got discounted rates at a number of other industry conferences and exhibitions. For example, talked about Advanced Engineering Show earlier. Any Composites UK member company taking their own stand there will get 10% off the stand space. That's one of the arrangements we have with Easy Fairs. But we also have discounted advertising rates within leading publications such as Composites in Manufacturing magazine, and also Manufacturing and Materials Technology, who I think there was an email went out in the last couple of days about contributing to their new Insights publication that's coming out later this year, which will feature all our Composites UK members. We can save you time by providing access to the resources. So we do a lot of the hard work for you. You don't need to get Google or ChatGPT involved. We've got a good library in our member resource area of industry reports, funding updates, technical advice, helping you to save time on trying to find the right sort of information. We also have a small business support network, and these are third-party organisations that we work with to provide companies support in various areas such as AHR, insurance, those sorts of things. And then a lot of information around sustainability. So access for member-only resources and tools and information to help you go along your journey towards net zero. We can help boost your impact. So again, this comes back to one of the key reasons companies join around promotion and getting your brand out there. So please make sure that your entry on our supplier database is up to date and is comprehensively filled in to enable companies to find you more easily. It is members only that are showcased on that. It helps give your business more visibility via public searches. And it also helps to feed into the UK industry stats that we publish every year. You can sponsor our events, you can speak at our events, you can attend our events. That's another good way of networking and boosting your company visibility. And a lot of companies don't realise, but you can submit news articles, press releases to us. Whenever you publish them, you can submit as many as you like, and we will put those on our website in the news area. But also they'll go out in our fortnightly newsletter, which goes out to around 15,000 industry professionals. So send that through to either Claire or to Kelly in the comms area, and they will make sure that that's included. There's also opportunities to advertise on our website and to also in the newsletter. And we're very active on LinkedIn. So link with us, connect with us, tag us in your posts, your company posts, and then we can share, comment, like, and raise the visibility of that. We recently closed the nominations for the 2026 awards, but again, this is a really good way of showcasing what you've done well, whether it be a technology and innovation, sustainability, good practice, celebrating personnel achievements. So we have apprenticeship recognition, we also have young engineer recognition, employee of the year. So it's a whole range of different ways of really celebrating UK achievement and what we're good at here. And it's a fantastic evening. So even if you've not nominated yourselves this year, it's a great opportunity to come along, network with. I think we had about 230 industry professionals there that last year. Fabulous evening and a great way to celebrate UK success. There's widening your network. So again, connect with the supply chain at one of our webinars or events. Come with us to one of the big exhibitions on the pavilion, or join one of the subgroups or working groups where we're focused on key cross-sector challenges. So we've got sustainability, material supply, construction, but we've also got the working groups around workforce development, around policy, and we are this September going to be launching one that's focusing on the GRP sector. So helping them to grow their businesses, make sure they get the right visibility across the industry and within the customer base. And then secure your future. Have your say in government consultations. You may have seen that we send out several consultations throughout the year. It's an opportunity to either input your own company submission or to take part in a industry-wide submission that we will coordinate through Composites UK. It makes sure that we have our voice heard at the right levels within government and make sure that composites remains near the top of the discussion list. You can learn what's happening at the European level through our membership of UCEA, be part of our task groups, access the member-only tools, and also encourage the early career people within your organisation to join our early careers group. I think we've got around 85 to 90 members in that group already, but they meet regularly. They meet 4 times a year, could be online, could be face-to-face. And it's a great opportunity for the early careers people to start building some of those business connections that perhaps is not so easy to do now that everything's gone very digital. So it's a great opportunity for them to get more involved in the sector, to learn from their industry peers, but also more importantly, really to start making those business connections. And if you haven't done already, sign up to the Skills Pledge. We've got over 50 members that have signed up to this. This is about supporting Composites UK and helping you now to develop the industry and the workforce of the future. Show your commitment to health and safety. We are part of an HSE initiative called SIMPLE, which is safety and manufacturing of polymers and composites. We've launched this year a new strategy. It's focused on behaviours in the workplace. There'll be a free training course, online training course that we'll be launching later this year. We're currently developing that. But we work with other trade associations like the British Plastics Federation and the packaging guys, and also with the unions. So we have Unite and GMB on that committee, and HSE themselves, so that we can help ensure that composites are seen to be doing as much as we possibly can to improve safety across our manufacturing sector. This slide really is just showing an example of the different types of companies that joined us last year. Shows the range of size and where they sit in the supply chain. Oops, sorry, gone on too far. And then I mentioned earlier about the board of directors. So any employee in a member company can nominate themselves at the AGM to be elected onto the board. We encourage everyone to think about doing that. Usually there's 5 or 6 places that come up every year for re-election. It's kind of a rolling thing so that we retain some experienced board members. We also bring in some new blood because it's really important to have those new ideas coming in. You can see the current board here. It's chaired by Dr. Faye Smith, supported by Adam Black as vice chair. And where we feel we need to strengthen the experience or the knowledge on the elected board, we have the option to co-opt additional individuals onto the board of directors. So, for example, Ben Wilson was co-opted a couple of years ago to represent the GRP community and advisors, and it was through his work that we are now setting up the GRP working group in the autumn. Michael Johnson joined us as an academic director to better connect us with the academic membership within our community. And also, whoever is chair of the early careers group will also have a seat on the board. They're on the board for a year. They're in the position of chair of that group for a year. So we're pleased that Vino Saran from Multiply will be joining us at the meeting this week, actually. The ops team, we are a small team. We cover a lot of different activities. This shows you kind of our structure, focus really on membership, marketing and communications, and sustainability. As I say, if you've got any questions, please just get in touch with any one of us. We are a small team. We work really closely together. So if we don't know the answer individually, then we'll know that one of the team will be able to support on that. So my last call really to you is, if you're not already a member, join us, become part of the collective voice for industry for the sector. If you are a member and you want to get more involved, think about whether one of our subgroups is appropriate for your business. Think about whether joining one of our working groups or task groups might be both benefit to you. So policy, GRP, workforce development, early careers, but also take part in our events and exhibitions program. Send us your press releases. Help us to promote your business to the wider industry. And that brings me to the end of the slides. You've got our emails on here. We do have an office line. If you leave a message on there, we can pick it up. We're not always in the office all the time. We're out and about a lot, as you see, with us being a small team, we are out and about quite a lot. But if you leave a message on our office phone, we will pick it up and one of us will get back to you. Or email each of us individually, or email the info at email address. There's 2 or 3 of us that have access to that, and we review it regularly so that we can make sure we respond to any queries that come in. So I'm going to stop sharing and ask if anyone has any questions that they would like to ask before we finish. If you think of something, if you don't want to ask it here and you think of something afterwards, just drop us an email or pick up the phone and we will aim to get a response to you.
Sue, can I ask a question? Thanks for the presentation. Can you give us an idea of associate membership costs?
Associate membership costs?
Yeah. So for a business wanting to join that may be a potential supplier to Composites UK businesses.
Okay, it depends on the size of company. So at the moment, our membership fees are based on the number of staff in your UK business. So we can get the details across to you, Bill.
Okay.
They're on our website, but we can get the details across to you. So we have the categories are split into 2 to 10 employees, 11 to 50, all the way up to 250 plus employees. And the annual fee depends on the size of the UK organisation.
Great, thank you. And the advanced engineering event, are those mini pods within your stand that
Yes.
people are able to use?
Yes.
Again, is the cost of those in the patio able to share that as well?
It should be on the website, I think, in the event side. So if you click on the event page for that particular exhibition, then it will give you details on how much it costs. Brilliant. It does vary from exhibition to exhibition because each of them charges us a different rate. So, for example, JEC and Farnborough are particularly expensive, but if that's your market, it's well worth going.
Yeah, okay. And one other thing, sorry to hog the questions. Do you have collaborations with research organisations like AMRC?
We do have most of the Catapult Centres as part of our membership. So AMRC are members, NCC are members. We do also have other agreements in place with other of the Catapult Centres like CPI and MTC. AMIC are members. They're not part of the Catapult group as yet, but they're based in Northern Ireland. And I think you probably saw from one of the slides that Mona Jesri who's head of the composites group there. She sits on our board of directors.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
No worries. If there are no other questions, then I'll bring it to a close. And thank you very much for taking half hour of your day to find out a bit more about Composites UK. As I say, if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thanks.